Hey guys, this is Earl from Virginia. Today's episode is going to be extreme metal detecting, the Mountain House adventures. And as you can see, it's on an editing table right now, and it should be done later this afternoon. But I just want to take time, just give you a real brief description. There was 2 attempts. I've got about 8.5 hours into the site so far with very little to show, but the adventures going there have been unreal. So this is a new site. We're trying to document another gentleman named Gerald, who's got some interest in writing some historical paperwork on the place, but there's no information to be found on this chimney site, and basically that's all that's left is a big old sandstone chimney. And so there's 2 attempts made. There's a rock ridge that runs north-south just west of the chimney site, and there's a southern gap and a northern gap. The first attempt, we came through the southern gap, which is an old trailhead, and it started pouring down rain on us after we got there. But what's unique about this site is, I believe it is the bunkhouse or the crew leader's house for an ore mine that was there. There's a ton. There's probably a couple dozen that I found of iron ore pits in the area around this chimney site. So it was an ore operation, in my best guess, iron ore. And this is either the crew leader's house or their bunkhouse where they stayed for digging the pits. The first trip, it started pouring down rain. It was mid-40s, and it just busted our day, and we were late getting started. The second trip, I made as a solo run by myself, and I came up through the northern gap. There is an access road that was used to get to the site, but I decided to take a ridge line. It's a very narrow ridge line, probably about 10 to 15 yards wide period at its widest point, and it runs about a half mile from where the parking area is back to the site. So I ran the ridge line. There was a couple cool, you'll see it, just stay tuned for the adventure. I don't want to spoil it. There were some really cool things that came up along the way, and then I got a snow squall. It was cold as all dickens. It was like 28 degrees that day, and the wind was blowing about 20 miles an hour. But as long as I stayed on the east side of the ridge, it wasn't too bad. We got a snow squall right at the very end. I almost got lost, got turned around, but I knew the trail in the area enough that it wasn't too bad. And tried some arrowhead hunting for about 10 minutes, which was unsuccessful too, but I found out through a co-worker who lives in the area that there are finding points there. So I'll be making probably some videos in the future on that. Last, I want to thank, everybody knows him as Digging with Seven, or Loy Milam on Facebook, I believe. Around episode 97, I sent him a gift of friendship, and in return, he had a run of good luck on episode 100 where he found his first large scent. But I want to thank him generously, and I'm way overdue for this. I want to thank him because he sent me a copy of his book called Old Milwaukee. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Seven. And within it, he autographed it and left me a little note. I don't want to get into all that. You can freeze frame it and read it if you want to think I held it long enough. But he's the author of this book, and he's got some great reference material in the end, which is handwritten letters and journals and all kinds of stuff. And I haven't gotten through it all yet. I haven't barely gotten started, but I will do time 7, and I really, really, really appreciate your book. It's close to my heart because there's a cemetery I helped take care of that was believed to be the first Methodist church and cemetery in the Shenandoah Valley, and it's within about 5 miles of my house, and our scout group's been taking care of it for like 10 or 15 years, maybe longer than that, and there's a lot of work been done there. I've got a couple films on that, but I haven't been there lately because there's been a lot of other things done. But I do wish to thank Seven. I truly appreciate the book, and I'm sorry for the long overdue and saying thank you. But you guys stay tuned and sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and always remember, the treasure is where you find it. It's not always the relic you find, but the treasure, the experience that you have when you're there. So have a good one. Happy hunting. Earl from Virginia.
All right, we're here. This is Earl from Virginia. This is a Mountain House. We're, Gerald, about a half mile up?
Yep.
Great North Mountain. You said 1,540 feet?
Yeah.
1,540 feet up. Nowheresville. I got to show Gerald some of the more pits that I know. We'll find them in a minute. I'll show you some of them in a minute. There's one ore pit right here. This place has got ore pits. Not exactly sure what though. I'll show you another one up there where deer's been tearing the bejesus out of it. in what we call the crags. It's foggy, so you ain't gonna be seeing the crags are in the backdrop. And that's a good ridge that runs all the way along Great North Mountain to this property we're on. And today's episode is going to be from Mountain House. I'll show you this chimney. Sorry about that. How high would you say it is, Gerald? About 15 feet? 20 feet? Yeah. This is what's left of it. Simple mud pack, loose laid mud pack. It's amazing this thing's even still standing. Show you some of the work. Like I said, nothing special. These guys were digging something. I think it's an ore pit or pits. I'm gonna meter this chimney real quick, and then it's beautiful from the back. There's no smoke stain still left on it, so I got a feeling it had clay liner, and it's just dropped out over the years. I'm gonna meter this. We're gonna go up here. Gerald's gonna try it for the first time. We're gonna meter around here and see what we can find, and hopefully find some goodies. Try to date this place later. Here's another pit. There's a tree for reference. This is not that big. Here's the lip. Comes around. There's the lip. There's a hole. This is a shallow hole, pretty shallow. And the chimney's right down there. Alright, there's the hole we were just at. Here's another hole. There's the lip, tree, the chimney's right there for reference. Right here. There's another big hole right down there, about 25-30 yards off. Trying to hit these holes real quick, trying to pick up a button. We're trying to get an age on the site, but this rain's going to damper the day. Alright guys, later. It's just a few that I just dug iron signals. I'm pretty sure Dutch oven. This is probably part of an oven. Nice old bolt. Although it's got threads, it does have the old spike top. Threads concern me on age. Thought that might have been stirred, but looking at it, I don't think it is. It's got a, looks like a natural flare. I'm not too sure what that was. Give me your thoughts, guys. Tell me what you think.
Nope.
Gotta come back. This place is too wet today.
Yeah.
Huge area, as you can tell. Huge. Alright guys, this is Earl from Virginia. And this is what you call extreme metal detecting. I got a hunch. Well, I wanted to come up in here anyway. It's looking for some 1820s graffiti that's scratched in the rocks. Haven't found it yet, but I want to give you a view of where I'm at. And it's a beautiful day. It's about 32 degrees. And the reason I'm up here, it's a real narrow ridge top. I'm going to walk it out that way about a mile to where the Mountain House chimney's at. Y'all haven't seen that footage yet, but which is right on the other side of this point. This is actually a gap right there. On that property was a dwelling that was opened in 1856 and ran pretty predominantly through 1920, and it actually closed down around 1940, but the heyday was up to 1920, 1856 to 1920. It was a summer resort for the rich and elite out of places like Georgetown, DC, Philadelphia, Cumberland. And I was down there. The ground's really been disturbed over the years down here. I'm sure there's a few coins, probably a bunch of silver down there, but it's going to be hard to find because the way that everything's been torn down and topsoil's been brought in and everything else. But my thought was the dwelling, which is a large dwelling, you would have to come up here for a view. This is just beautiful. Alright, trying out a new GoPro. I don't even know if I'm in, probably just see part of my face, but trying out the GoPro today. Got it for Christmas, and I got about 2 more hours, so I want to get down the creek. I want to try to do some Native American point hunting down here at this next gap. It's about half mile out, but we're going to swing the coal all the way on top of this ridge down to that gap. It'll drop down level, and then the chimney's off the west. If I got time, I'll hunt the chimney too. Alright, this is Earl. Y'all have a great day. Holy cow, guys. I just seen my first ever bobcat, man. He's laid down a tree down there. He just jumped in front of me, went over the ridge there to the right. I know there's bobcats up here for the last probably 10 years or so, and this is where we always heard them, right up in here. That was so freaking cool. I have never seen a bobcat in the wild, and that's just freaking cool. He's fairly good sized. There's probably more around. Try to keep my eyes up and see if I can get him on film next time. That was just the coolest thing ever, man. Coolest thing ever. Later. Well, I'm not too far from the chimney, and this will give you a good idea of some of those pits that I was telling you about. Well, I haven't told you about yet. It's on video, I haven't released yet, but this is one of the holes. These are typical of the holes. Not sure what they're mining. I thought it was iron ore, but this hole, they're extremely clean on the meter. Of course, I got discrimination way up to try to get brass and some lead and stuff, but trying to find buttons to date this place. But this pit is typical. When we get closer to Mountain House, there's a lot more east of Mountain House, but we're on like we're getting ready to come into a gap. And as a matter of fact, a bobcat went over that ridge on that side. But these are the pits. I keep thinking there ought to be some tools here and some buttons. These are all hand dug pits. I'm not sure what they're digging. If y'all got any clues, let me know. There is some sulfur springs around here, down back where I'm parked. I don't know if they're digging sulfur, possibly saltpeter, or iron ore. But these pits are all over the place. And of course you can see the deer love them too, so there's some kind of mineral on the ground. The one up by the cabin is just torn all the heck, but this thing is too. And you can look. There's the deer get on these mounds. I don't know if they're licking minerals out of them or just standing around. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they just tear these mounds up. So let's try to get to Mountain House before it gets too late. I'm running out of time. Here's another pit. This is like a digging a vein out of something. Instead of being a round hole, they actually shoveled and debris off to both sides. There's the hole. They're all typically about 6 feet deep, about 10 foot long. They're just hitting veins or something. I have no clue what. But if you got any ideas, let me know. The other pit we were just at is right over there, about 100 yards. Like I said, they're strewn all over this ridge. The chimney, can't see it right now, the trees are in the way, but the chimney is literally right in front of us, about 50 yards. We'll be there in a minute. Might be able to barely make it out, but straight ahead from my finger, the chimney is about right above my finger right now. It's standing up there. Looking for deer. I was up here about 3 weeks ago, and there's deer rubs all over the place. Tracks, rubs, everywhere. Alright guys, beautiful area. We're heading to the chimney, trying to find. There you go, there's the chimney. It's elevation 1,540 feet. The ore pit's all around. There's a nice creek down at the bottom. I think it's the beginnings of Back Creek. But we're gonna stop there on the way out, look for some arrowheads really quick. We're running out of time. Hoping to see some deer up here, man. There's all kinds of signs of deer up here, but I don't see any right now. Maybe a bobcat are coming back around or something. But trying to find a button out of this place, coin, anything with a date, or anything to get a date. There you go, that's the chimney. Look at that center, the hearth slab. God knows how many tons that thing weighs. So they were planning on being here for a little while building that. I think I'm a little bit outside the structure side. I think it's in between those two trees there where the front of the building where the rocks are. Alright. This is all from Virginia. Just got some more snow. And this sun just popped back out. It was almost a whiteout a short while ago. That's my way out. Came down off that ridge. The chimney site's just up over there. I got about 10 minutes to look for some arrowheads. I'm looking into this, the creek I wanted to look in. And take a look right here, this little stretch, and then I gotta get out of here to pick up my dog. But beautiful little rock outcropping. It's been a great day, sun's popping up. The bobcat was definitely the find of the day. I wish I could get the camera out, but he scooted too quick. He's seen me, I seen him, and he's gone. But that was just about the coolest thing I've ever seen. Later, guys. Just got the alarm to go and got a nice little something. It's like some kind of a furniture piece. It's not very big. Here's my finger. But check this out. It's got some silver wash on it. Got some fancy. And I'm not sure, it's pretty thick, heavy brass. I'm not sure what it is. It's a pretty nice silver wash on there.
Guys, this is Earl from Virginia. Just wanted to do a quick shout out for Seven in a way. I took a break yesterday. I've been watching. I got behind on those videos and took a break yesterday to come out here to Jack's Paradise to dig a while. Got a signal. Only got two good signals today. One was a rivet and one's what I thought was a mystery piece until I got home and I watched. I think it was episode 106 of Digging with Seven. It was about saddle strap guides, and he had questions, and I think he posted on the Global Detectives site. I might be wrong on that, but I think it was the Global Detectives, and he got some answers back, and they described the pieces that he had. I think he had 5 as colonial saddle strap guides, and here's what I got. 7, this is it. Give you kind of a reference. Here's my finger. So it's only about 2 digits on my finger, about 1.5 digits. It's basically the same thing you got, but this one's got some fancy. It's got some silver wash, little cross type work in the middle, and then all the way around the periphery it's got some fancy, and then of course it's not quite egg shaped as yours, but I believe it's the same thing. It's made of heavy brass, pretty thick item. And on the back, it's got this countersinks, like a screw or a rivet or something went in there, which they're calling the strap part. The attachment holes for the strap to hold the or the cover or whatever you want to call it. There was a little bar comes across the front, and then your strap would go this way up and down. And there's usually one on the front and rear of the colonial saddle from the picture that he had. So I'm pretty sure that's what I got. And so here's mine, 7. Thought I'd give you a picture. And this is a shout out to you for your video, because I would have called a what's it as well.